I fussing you? He's already getting irritated.
You gotta move. Let's go. Off. Off. My couch. Thank you. Wow.
The attitude.
This guy, yeah. Definitely got an attitude.
I wonder where he gets that from.
You've been the one home.
I have been the one home. I'm trying to soak in the last couple weeks of summer. And they're all like my little kids. Just pups have been following me everywhere. Like they're my shadows, and we have our routines that we've established, such as going out in the garden in the morning. We've been loving that. He scares away everything that could possibly be out there. Birds, squirrels.
Anything, right?
Anything.
Anything that could attack your mom.
Yeah. So that's usually, he leads the way. These are the cucumbers. It's like be checking them every day to make sure there's no like bugs getting on them. Or the squash is doing really good. I don't see any caterpillars or anything, just ants. The ants have found their way into the little bed, but look at all these blossoms that are gonna be. That's so good. Basil. This doesn't have like a strong aroma. I added the 4th shade cloth yesterday because the sun was just like baking in between. It was just slightly getting them, so I was like, we have plenty of shade cloth. So look at how green the peppers are. And my little peppers are gonna be there soon. They're gonna start growing right here. It's coming back to life. I don't see any caterpillars or anything. It's been good that I've been covering them at night. Now it's time to water. Oh, my little propagated tomato plant is doing pretty good. It still doesn't have its leaves going, but at least it didn't die and wilts. Trying not to get its leaves wet. Get the soil so it doesn't splash up. Did you see the blueberry blossoms? You didn't see them yet? I think they're blossoms. They look different than the leaves that are putting out. So the blueberry plant that I bought from Home Depot or Lowe's came with just like a stick, and I put it in the bucket and just was watering it just like kind of a little bit. And so then I started reading that they need lots of water, so I had been putting like just kind of really drizzling the water and like just really going with it, and it's taken off. This shoot was like just shot up right away, was loving the extra water. Then it sent up 2 more, and now there's more coming up. I can see the stem is like getting really strong at the base, but today I see these, they look like sweet little leaves, but I think it's a blossom. There's one here, and one here. So who knows? Maybe that's where the flowers start happening, and then we can get some blueberries. I wasn't thinking anything would happen this year, just kind of setting it up for future, because I want this baby to get taller than me eventually. It's been a lot of fun to just, be able to just do gardening and to like bring like some life to the property and like have some things to tend and, see them grow and bloom and things that I
I didn't think that I could do. Like, I didn't think I could garden because I'd killed everything.
See how my canna lilies are doing. This one has bloomed for a little while now. It's doing so good. I'm dripping water everywhere except the plant. The vines are just filling this area. It looks so green. It kind of just adds to our entry, even though it's not a lot right now, but it's something. It just makes me happy seeing the flowers. And then this one is putting out 2 buds, so I'm super excited about this. I used to not have a green thumb. I would like kill a plant quicker than anything. It's just exciting to see things like come to life and flourish. And I'm the one tending it, so. Then in the front yard we have our shrubs, which were already in place with little hackberries growing out the center. And I'm just letting the morning glories just take over, and they really are taking over. But it's fun to see how the new vines try to just cover the bushes, and I just kind of clear them like this to keep them going this way and filling in the landscape. Oh, look. Okay, so looks like a new bush has come in. Maybe a Japanese holly, because I know we have one over here, so I'm not sure how it got here, but it looks really similar. Otherwise, that might be a very interesting weed, but I don't think it's a weed.
So the past 2 years, we've done RV life.
What I like about RV life is that we get to drive around everywhere. You have everything that you would have in a house in a vehicle.
A lot of you guys have followed that, but this year, this summer, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
I say we're chilling. There's a lot of things that we're doing, and that's kind of where we're headed. We're trying to document all of that stuff, kind of as we always do. We're always filming something, but this is us sitting down, like kind of debriefing about some of this, at least from this week. We filmed the entire week. It's crazy when you're going through that footage and you're looking back at the full week. You've accomplished a lot. Like, you don't realize sometimes what things you did within the same week. I mean, kind of all days blend together, especially when you're on summer break. You even planted pumpkins today.
I know. Well, I planted the seeds earlier on, and then it's just slowly like, okay, I'm just going to put them in the ground.
The pumpkin seeds into the ground, because I'm like, well, they're starting to germinate and come out of the seed already, and I don't want them to like have shock to the ground. I put the containers into the ground, and then I was like, you know what's just stopping me from just planting them? So I've got 3 already that I've put in the ground, and I'm basically like backwards gardening or backwards amending. I just literally like put them in there, and I'll weed as they grow. Taking all the crabgrass out and everything around it so that the seeds have a place to thrive, and as it grows, I'm just going to continue to weed out the grasses.
So my goal for the pumpkins has been moving into that fall winter gardening. Actually fall, really, because if I want pumpkins, I have to start now because it takes them 100 days to harvest them. So if all goes to plan and they do well, October 19th would be the date of like, I have pumpkins that I can chop off the vine and like decorate with. Most of this is just trial and error.
Yeah.
And it's our first year, my first year to actually have a garden space, have plenty of, opportunity to see what's possible. Because I've just been totally obsessed.
Flowers. They're so tall. Like, I didn't plant these either, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna let you grow. And I knew from small plant that they were sunflowers with my app, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let them grow and see what they look like. And They're so tall. They put on so many blossoms. I'll cut them whenever they start wilting, and then like, where's one? All of them are pretty new right now. This one, the petals are starting to come off, so I'll just cut this one here and kind of keep them a little bit at bay so they're not just like a gigantic muddled sunflowerness. So, but they're doing really good. They like it here. They're not bothering the shrubs, which they usually zap a lot of energy from the ground, that I've read. So you don't want to plant a bunch of like vegetables because they will take all the energy from the soil, that I've read. So they're doing good here. They're fun to watch every morning. And the other day I snipped off some blossoms to bring inside, and it was like a party fail. They were all like, we hate it out here or in here. We want to be outside. So I don't know why they didn't just continue to do well, but when you cut them, there's like a sticky substance that comes out, and it's like glue. So I don't know if that kind of protected the stem from getting water when it was in the base. So I don't know. Look at this little fuzzy one down here. It's so fuzzy. Oh, that scared me. It was a spider.
I think we're in a season of our life of growth. We're wanting to improve upon things, and RV life for those 2 years, it was kind of like a reset to our entire life. I mean, it's almost, it feels like, well, we've been married 17 years. We have 3 kids. But it almost feels like when you first get married and you have nothing, because we sold everything.
Yeah.
We got rid of everything, and literally pretty much everything we owned was in the RV with us. So, which was very limited on everything.
Yeah.
But moving into here, it's like you're starting back over. You're trying to furnish the place. You're trying to just like even simple things.
From like waste baskets and shower
Silverware.
mats. Silverware. All right, now we can eat with silverware, real silverware.
Oh, it's warm.
Here's the
Ow.
forks.
Ow, it's
Open the
hot.
fork.
That is scorching hot.
You'll need to rinse it off first. Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that.
Dropping my brand new
I
silverware.
didn't know that it came out that way.
Let's see. How do y'all like them?
Look how this is. Look, it's very long.
All right, go wash them.
Fancy.
We've been using plastic silverware.
Everything adds up all at once. There's a lot of purchases to make all at once. And that's kind of where we are in our life. Like, there's not a lot of extra resources and time to go travel right now.
Yeah.
So we still own the coach, but segueing into one of the things that we did accomplish this week, we sold the bus. During our RV life, we had purchased a 45-foot MCI tour bus that we were converting. So it's quite possible that we might sell the bus today. So I'm kind of looking around, just make sure everything is good in here to at least show it. And there's been a lot of work that we did, a lot of work still to do in this bus, but I think we're just at a place that we need to move on from it. It's just sitting in our driveway, and I don't like it just sitting here. Buses don't like to just sit here. So it's time to move on from it. But this was pretty cool. I'll show you guys. So the layout in here was going to be the TV, like entertainment. This was everyday TV area. There was going to be a TV that's set inside here. And then over on this side was I was going to have a projector that came down here. And then this is going to just be a view, maybe a little like seating bench over here. But then on this side was going to be a full couch. And then over here was kitchen area, refrigerator behind me, and pantry, all of that. But then moving back into here, we have the bunk beds, which were semi-finished. I got the walls up anyway, and then started on the railings. But then over on this side, I was gonna cut out like cubbies for the kids to put some of their stuff in and things like that. And then we're gonna put drawers underneath. And then back in here, this was kind of a cool design because a lot of people, they will, when they do buses, they'll do like a galley bathroom where they have a shower on one side and then maybe the toilet and sink and vanity and stuff like that on the other side. But for us, we didn't want to get stuck on one side or the other when we're in our room and someone's in the bathroom. Like, we wanted to keep it accessible, so we created a hallway over through here. So you went around here and then into the bedroom. So this was the master bedroom. We're gonna have a TV on this wall, and then, you know, bed back here on this side, and then closets on the sides and all of that. But then, you know, coming back through here, we had the bathroom. So we have the vanity, sink vanity there, and then we have the shower right here. But then kind of weird thing, because down here, right below here, is like one of the only spaces that I can get to the bay to be able to just, you know, drop sewage and water lines and all that stuff. There's a lot of memories already in this bus. We never lived in here, but there's a lot of work that had been done in here. It's a cool bus.
When we got the bus, you intended to have.
Yeah, the intention. Well, when I first bought the bus, we were in a location that was going to be suitable to work on the bus, and actually, we worked on that bus nonstop. I mean, we did a whole lot to that bus. There was a lot of cleanup to do in it. There was just a lot of things to do, and we worked on it nonstop. But when our situation changed and that
Which
park,
was not our doing.
No.
Like, it was kind of out of our hands, out of our control. And we had to shift and pivot really hard.
yeah, that RV park closed to the public. So we had to move, and we had to move the bus. So the location that we put it in, actually backtracking a little bit, we
Yeah.
we thought we were going to be able to park it at a friend's property, but we got it stuck in the mud. It was not a good situation. I mean, I can't go backwards or forwards right now.
No, it's stuck in the mud.
It's stuck in the mud.
Yeah. The ground, we're so heavy and the ground
It's soft.
is soft. Because there's mud right here. Like, it's full of mud.
Man.
After it just had rained and everything, and
We're gonna have a dandy of a time getting this out of here, but we're gonna let the ground dry out for a couple days. I think we're not supposed to get rain for a little bit, so hopefully it'll dry out enough to where maybe I can get some 2x6s or something underneath there. I don't even know what you do for a bus. And then we were fortunate to be able to move the bus to our RV park that we were staying at. That was our regular place of staying. We would travel in and out from there, but that was our regular place. And it was a great place to park, but it just wasn't a very suitable place to
be
have
sawing
everything
and-
drag out.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice RV park, and you know, didn't want to be the nuisance and the annoyance of sawing and drilling and everything all day. It was loud, but it just kind of fell to the wayside. And while that happened, it's like when you're not able to focus, at least for me, this being ADHD, when I'm not able to focus on that one thing, I get it's like I lose interest.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. So I lost interest.
But then you're still, like, in the back of your subconscious, you still have this project that's left
Right.
undone.
It was constantly looming. So
Yeah.
we fast forward, when we moved into this house, we moved into here in December, and then we moved the bus to this house, to our driveway, which is a really big driveway. We have the RV out there,
Thankful
then
for
we had
it.
the bus there, and we have our parking stuff. It's a really big driveway, but that bus, we had to move here, and it took up a lot of the space. And it's this constant looming thing. Like now, I'm working on projects within the house, and there's a lot of upkeep. When we've moved into this house, there was a ton of TLC.
Yeah.
Still is a lot of TLC to be done. You're doing a great job on things on the outside. I'm working on some things on the inside. We're constantly, in a process of renovation. So the bus was not going to be a
The
priority for us anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just best. We went ahead and sold it, and it was just the best thing to be able to
The
do.
best timing too, because you had been receiving countless messages like every single day, and it was just like the timing wasn't right. And so this past week you messaged this person and they were like, can we come? And it just worked out.
When something's going to go wrong, it's usually when you're trying to sell the thing. I went out to charge up the batteries to be able to start the bus because I knew they were going to want to be able to, see the bus run and everything, especially if they were going to leave with it. They had to run. So I charged up the batteries because they had been sitting since April. As soon as I flipped on the switch to the 24 volt, the fire extinguisher in the engine bay went off. And
You come in like, it's not good. It's just not good. I'm like, what happened? Did they leave?
the buyer still wanted to buy the bus, so that was good. They were able to get it going and they took off with it. But the bus was sitting right here at the shop door. I mean, just like really close to here. So all that powder flew into all of this. So we are full of extinguisher powder in here now. It's still quite a bit of a disaster right now. We're assuming there must have been like a short in the system or something that caused the bus to think that it was on fire. Bus was not on fire, although I couldn't really tell at the moment if it was or wasn't, because it was this huge cloud of smoke that just, it engulfed like the whole back end of the bus, the shop, everything. Finally, the tank emptied out, so there was no more extinguisher to go off. However, every time we started the bus still thought it was on fire and it would shut down. So to drive it home, they had to hold on to the relay reset button and try to drive it home. But they did buy the bus, so
They were ecstatic.
oh, they were excited to buy it. Yeah, they were excited to have the bus.
Yes.
So we're happy for them. It was a win-win for both of us.
Well, it could have been really, really bad. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that happened.
They actually had somebody there with them who was mechanically inclined. He wasn't worried about it at all. He's like, he tested a bunch of things and did a bunch of things to it after they purchased it and everything. He wasn't worried about it. So they probably have it back up and running,
Connections, yeah.
ready now. So happy for them.
Yeah.
Happy for us. Happy to have the driveway and everything.
Yes, and
good.
to move forward because it was taking up our planning of like moving forward with like our RV, and so
Yeah, there's repairs and renovation things that we want to do inside the RV as well.
Yeah.
So that's a project of its own, but then we have the house project.
Yeah.
So the other day we completely changed our living room. This house is like, it's a process of trying to talk while they're fighting. So in this house, when we first moved in here, there was a lot of TLC needed. There was a lot of neglect, just a lot of things that there was no upkeep outside of just the outdatedness. But one of the things that we did change the other day is this TV area, which is now the TV area. But I took down the columns and there was a old school mirror right here. It was hideous. It was so ugly. So I'm attempting to, when we first moved into this house, we planned on getting rid of this whole mirror nasty thing over the fireplace here. We haven't done it yet, and we are now deciding to change our living room around to where the TV is going to be up here instead, because we're most likely about to get a pretty large couch, and it's not going to fit the way that we have it directed right now. It's a lot bigger. The way we had it set up, the TV was on this back wall, but because this couch is a lot bigger, it was not going to fit facing this way. So we took the TV off this wall and we changed it over to this wall, which also meant that I had to basically re-drywall and take the mirror off, all the things. So you do it?
I'm so nervous. Like,
I don't know if I can span this.
No. My palms are like so sweaty.
Palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Hold on. What?
I mean, we could just let it fall and break.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
All right, I'm gonna try to get out in the middle,
Under it.
and I'll hold the weight. Don't let it topple, right?
Just kind of feel a little
Okay,
bit.
you ready?
Okay, I'll slide it down gently.
All right.
I can feel it coming.
All right, get down. Okay, I'll block it with my face.
Yeah, I'll block it
All right,
as it.
set it down. All right, good job.
Ew.
That's nasty. So the color of the wall used to be blue. That's disgusting.
Wow.
It fits. It's pretty high up there, but it works. We may, I don't know if we'll do this or not, but we may even take out some of the brick and lower it, and then do the black shiplap all the way up then with the cedar mantle. So I don't know. We'll see.
Your time is very limited on the homestead.
Yeah,
Our
it really
homestead.
is. Yeah, and even that, we had lofty goals of getting a lot more done on this house than where we're currently at.
Yeah.
Really, that first week, I had a huge goal of painting the entire house. The house was pretty filthy on the walls.
Subpar, to put it nicely.
Yeah, and it's still like we're in the process of doing all that.
And you wanted to do all this before we even got like furniture in here, and it's
Before we
just-
moved in.
Yeah.
And
Things have just crept in and out of necessity, and it's like, well, all of this is taking far much longer than what we planned or expected, and we still have those things that we want to achieve and like goals that we have for the home and personally, but things are just taking longer. You got your third stripe
I did.
on your brown belt.
Which was a complete surprise to me. I really didn't know who he was about to promote. I couldn't tell. I couldn't figure it out. So he turns around to me, and then he promotes me, and that was just a complete surprise. If you train jiu-jitsu and you've made it into the higher ranks, like a brown belt, when you first start jiu-jitsu, you don't want to be a white belt anymore, right? You want to get out of that white belt phase, and there's always this like hurry up feeling to get out of white belt and to progress, like. And then you also see it as like even a purple belt, brown belt, you almost see it as untouchable or unreachable, unattainable.
Yeah, you'll never get there. And
Yeah, you think, man, I'll never get there. That it's gonna be a long ways from now. Or you also think you're gonna be so much better than you are when you finally
get there, and you're like, I'm the same person.
Yeah, you think you've are going to be able to have arrived, right? Like you're going to know everything there is about jiu-jitsu. And that's just absolutely not the case. I mean, getting my third stripe in my brown belt now.
Yes, you're only one stripe away from getting
Yeah.
to black belt.
Yeah.
It's not very much longer.
Yeah, so it's just weird to look back on that and realize, wow, I have come a long way. I have trained a long time for this.
Yeah.
But you still see so many areas in your own personal journey
That you need to work on.
or you want to get better at and you want to improve at. There's a lot of responsibility involved with that you feel, and so I don't take it lightly. All right, so that was the highlights of our week, the update of our life right now, where we are currently. We will be filming this next week, just doing personal documentation of our life, so we can watch back and say, wow, that's where we were at our point in life then.
So much is happening, and we just
Yeah.
want to capture all the memories, like of our kids, of our home, the changes and updates that we've been doing. So
Yeah. So we'll continue to share those highlights with you. Be sure to follow along if you haven't, and
we'll see you in the next one.
time.